Hi, my name's Kirk. I recently was diagnosed with cancer, and I'm going to go through the journey of my treatments, the radiation, the chemotherapy, medication, supplements, just what it was like going through this in everyday terms. When I was diagnosed, I started looking around to get some some insight into what my days would be like. And there wasn't a whole bunch. There's a bunch on cancer, but not a bunch on throat cancer. If this video and the other videos on my channel helps even one person, then it's worth it. So please, I'll say this a few times, but if there's any comments or questions, please go ahead, put them in the comments, and I will answer them. So like I said, this is my journey, what helped me, what didn't, what I wish I knew sooner. Keep in mind, everybody's cancer is different. Whether you have cancer, throat cancer, it could be from different things. It could be in different stages. Just remember that what works for me, worked for me. It might not work for you, or it might work even better for you. So again, I just hope this helps somebody. This is my personal experience. It's not medical advice. I'm not a doctor. Always talk to your doctors before changing anything up, and to keep them informed on everything that you're doing. So my story started about 2022. I started getting a pain in my ear. My doctor at the time thought it was probably an ear infection, no biggie. Gave me some medication for that. The pain wasn't so great, so I don't know if it was going away or not. I just let it go. It got a little worse. He gave me some other medication. Then they thought maybe the pain, because it was a couple of years now, they said maybe there's water behind my eardrum, maybe it's my TMJ. They don't know why exactly the pain wasn't going away. And then it got to the point of early this year, 2025. I was in so much pain that we went to the ER. In the ER, the doctor took me into a private room and said he is looking at what he believes to be tumors and that I more than likely have cancer. He referred me to C-Care in Fresno, California, which is where I got the final PET scan confirming it was cancer and where the treatments all took place. What happened for me and what happens for most throat cancer patients is that you'll be fitted for a mask. It's from the shoulders up, and when you lie down on the table for radiation, it locks down, and that allows the computer to pinpoint the radiation to the tumors. And because if you move your head at all, then it's not doing the best job it can possibly do. So I was fitted for that. If you're claustrophobic, that could be a problem. They can have medication for that, so keep that in mind. But halfway through my treatments, I had to get refitted for another mask because of the weight loss that I was moving around inside of the mask because of all the room. So that's one thing that you're gonna do that's different through throat cancer than any other cancer. They will also make you go to the dentist before treatments start. They want to make sure that your teeth are in good enough shape to where over the course of treatments that nothing would need to be pulled. There won't be any kind of infection, because that's the last thing you want when your immune system is non-existent, to have something like a tooth pulled. So you'll have to go through that as well. My radiation was I was diagnosed with stage 4 throat cancer. I was told that I am going to get a very aggressive form of treatment, and they scheduled me for 40 rounds of radiation and 8 rounds of chemotherapy. So Monday through Friday at 7 a.m., I went to C-Care in Fresno and got my radiation. Radiation is a 15-minute process. Once you're on the table, the machine just goes over you a few times and then you're done. Really a 15-minute process, but it's every single day. On Fridays, those were my chemotherapy days. So I would do my radiation in the morning, have a little bit of a break, like an hour maybe, and then I would get my chemotherapy for 6 to 8 hours on Fridays. Also, on every Monday, I met with my radiation team, and on every Wednesday, I met with my oncology chemotherapy team. And they would draw blood. They would ask if I'm, feeling different. What's the difference from last week to this week? They would go over my weight and just verify that we're on the right path. So it's a routine that is good. You don't have to change it up. You know what you're doing every day. So after the Fridays for the chemotherapy, Saturday and Sunday were actually my best days of the week because I was given an IV with liquids in it and other nutrients that just, it gave me more energy as I was going through the treatments. But halfway through Sunday, then I started feeling weak again. But it is, hopefully you can get some relief out of the chemotherapy the days afterwards as well. But these meetings that I had with the doctors on Mondays and Wednesdays, it's a routine that you're gonna be happy that you have. They also take your blood and make sure that your blood cells, your white blood cells are correct, all your numbers are correct, and they basically approve you for the chemotherapy on Friday then. So I did about a month of that, and about 4 weeks into it is when I really started to feel the treatments, especially from the radiation, inside and outside of my throat. Around that 4-week mark is when I pretty much gave up eating almost anything. So the one thing that I can say I wish I would have done different so far was to have a feeding tube installed. They decided not to, partly because I fought them to not have one. I didn't want anything extra going on. In my history, it seems like the little things blossomed into big things. So if I could eliminate that and it wasn't mandatory, I didn't want to do it. I wish I would have now, because the energy that I think I lost after that first month from not being able to eat, the weight loss, I think all that would have been a little more minimalized if I was to have a feeding tube where I could put in Ensures or different types of protein drinks, because that's when I lost a lot of weight. I gained so much weight or as much weight as I could before the treatment started. I was about 220 pounds when it started, and I kept losing weight even 6 weeks or so after the treatment stopped, and I was down to about 155 pounds. So I have also gained a little back. They want me to gain more, but I can feel the energy coming back just because I gained 10 pounds since then. So if I would have had this extra 10 pounds the last month or so of the treatments, I think it would have been beneficial and helped me. But that being said, the radiation every day for 2 months the radiation burn is a real thing. They first gave me over-the-counter medicine that you can get off of Amazon. It's actually this right here. It's about $12. It did well for the first 4 weeks of treatment, but then the radiation burns got real bad. So they ended up giving me a prescription, and I'm sorry I don't have the name of it, but I'm sure it's a basic oncology prescription for the burns that you can get from it. Once they gave me that, a couple days after I started using it, it was a big relief and helped immensely with the pain. And I was to the point at the end where I was actually I had basically an open wound just from the radiation. So this ointment definitely helped. During the chemo days, on Fridays for me, again, I had a aggressive form of treatment, so yours might not be as long as mine was, 6 to 8 hours every Friday, but it'll be the same kind of process. They allow you to bring whatever you can to eat, whatever you want to drink, bring warm clothes, bring a phone charger, bring earbuds, whatever helps you feel comfortable. They should have warm blankets and pillows for you, especially for the people that are there for 6 to 8 hours. They will also give you nausea meds. They'll put it in your belly. So it's like I said, it's no joke. And anything you can do to feel more comfortable, the better. I got blessed and lucky that I did not have a lot of hair loss. They kind of told me where I'd be losing my hair. I'd have it right in the back of my head, and that's where it was. I didn't have a lot of hair loss. It has grown back a little differently than it was before, but another thing that I've come out of it is I'm very weak. It's been about 5 months since my last treatment, and I am still freezing cold all the time. I'm still very weak. But nothing like how it was the last month of treatment and the month or two after treatment. So it does get better, absolutely. The medications, so the pain meds, to be honest, only helped a little bit. But that being said, if you think they're just not helping enough, tell your doctor, tell them it's not helping. And they will either give you a more potent version of it, or they'll try something different, or just give you more of it. Remember, especially if you're in stage 4 like I was, there's no stage 5. So they're going to do everything they possibly can to keep you comfortable. But that's going to be you telling them. They can't guess these things. You have to tell them if something isn't working. And they do have alternatives or different ways to address your issues. Anti-nausea meds. I was also lucky there that I did not really get too sick from the chemo, from the food that I was able to eat. But there are times when I was getting sick. They tried 2 different ones, different nausea meds, and the third one is what really worked for me. No matter how bad I felt, I had one of these pills, and within 15 minutes or so, I was totally fine. So there are meds that will work for any of your issues. The pain in my throat from throat cancer, the doctor will prescribe a numbing rinse. That really did not do much for me. It helped for maybe 5 to 10 minutes. It didn't numb, so that is kind of it's misleading. It doesn't really numb, it helps. So I just kind of timed it to where whatever I was able to eat, whether it was yogurt, whatever the case may be, I did the numbing rinse about 10 minutes right before I ate, and that was the best use I could get out of it. The funny thing about that is that what really worked for me was over-the-counter medication or mouthwash. The Biotine, this really worked for me. And I use it to this day when my throat is still dry, when it's in a little bit of pain, I will gargle with this, and it gives me probably a good hour every time I use it. So this stuff is a lifesaver to me. It comes in the different size mouth rinses. It comes in toothpaste. It comes in a spray. It comes in a gel. So whatever works best for you, but the oral rinse Biotin is really helpful to me. I hope that it is the same for you. Another thing that I did along with my chemotherapy and radiation was a non-traditional, some of you may have heard, the gentleman is called Joe Tippens. He has what they call Joe Tippens protocol. It's something that you can look up his story, and it worked for him. There's a Facebook page. If you look up mycancerstory.rocks, he has a web page, and that's also the way you find him on, and I'll provide a link. That's the way you find him on Facebook. But mycancerstory.rocks. So his story is so popular in the cancer community that there are now fake pages, people trying to sell you stuff, trying to make money off of you. As far as I know, the mycancerstory.rocks is the official pages for him. So if you just quickly to talk about that, his main part of his protocol is what's called fenbendazole. And this is, basically a canine dewormer. That, along with all of these supplements and more, a lot of people have said that they found this to be very helpful. Again, do your own research. I'm not saying it's going to work for you, but what happened with me is that I'm very skeptical about this stuff I read online. But this, along with his video, many videos, I decided to go ahead and give it a shot. And I was doing this along with my regular treatments. And my numbers, my doctors kept saying that they can't believe how good my numbers were. 4 weeks into my treatments, they were just amazed that my white blood cell count was high. All my numbers were very high. They were very proud that I was able to pull this off. Then it got to the point, because you do have to mix this with other, preferably like a fat, but I was putting it on yogurt. That's all I could really eat after like 4 weeks. And it got to the point to where I just couldn't even do that. So I stopped using the fenbendazole, and whether it's a coincidence or a direct correlation, I don't know, but within a week or two of me stopping this, my numbers plummeted. I ended up having terrible white blood cell count to where I had to get very expensive shots to bring them back up. And my treatments were actually paused for a week for me to recuperate and get better. Again, I don't know if it was just a coincidence or what, but that is my experience with it, and I thought it was important enough to bring it up. So take that as you will. Please look into it and be your own judge. I am, again, not a doctor, or I am not telling you to do this. But to move on, things that changed, they will tell you that you will change, your taste buds will change. I used to love chocolate. I used to love coffee. I can't stand either one of them now, and I don't know if it's ever going to change. Cold things were okay, the drinks especially. Hot things I could not do. I had blisters in my throat, so it was very difficult, especially with the hot stuff. But your changes will be different than when you started. Your taste buds will be different. Pasta's another one. I am barely starting to get to where I can eat it. Now there's two things that I say. I either hate it or I don't taste it. And if I don't taste it, that's a good thing because that means I can eat it. But when I say that it's nasty, it's terrible. And I'm really loving, sometimes craving a hot coffee, and I just cannot do it. So again, the first thing I would have done differently was have them install a feeding tube. I wish I would not have made the decision to not do it, and I think that would have helped a lot. Another quick hint would be on Amazon. Make a list of things that you want to try. I'm not going to joke, this stuff, especially these supplements, this is expensive. And anytime you can have friends or family just buy one of them or two of them, that's going to help you. Not just that, but things like you're going to go through a lot of this stuff. Simple things like a pill splitter. This will help when you're trying to take a pain pill. Sometimes you won't be even able to swallow that. They do have liquid pain medicine as well, not just the numbing medication, but actual pain meds. But simple things like that. We do have chapstick, hand warmers. So you're going to need the ski cap. You're going to need gloves, a box of hand warmers. I still use these every day today. I went through 2 pairs of them today. Then simple things like Oragel. You got to find what works for you. This worked for me somewhat. There's plenty of different things on Amazon that claim to be, better than better than Oragel, better than Biotin. Try it. Maybe it is. Once I found the things that I liked, I pretty much just stopped and kept using what worked for me. So again, if there's anything that I'm skipping over or questions that come up, please ask them in the comments. I will answer them. That's why I'm doing this. So some of the things that I wrote down to address was the mental and emotional impact. What was it like when you first found out? First reaction was confusion. And how long do I have to live? Stage 4 is the worst, and I had nowhere else to go. And I was able to, now today I'm living proof that it is not a death sentence. Through God, through my wife, my friends and family, I was able to beat this. And there are certain things that help me immensely. Some of it is we posted on Facebook every week, every Friday for the most part. When I was doing my chemotherapy, while I was awake, we would do a quick video and I'd post it on Facebook, and that kept all my friends and family, up to date. They would send me messages and encouragement or funny videos to watch. Those things, when you're sitting around and you've reached the end of YouTube and you don't know what else to do, those things help. So be open and honest about what you're going through and let people help you. There's also the American Cancer Society. There are volunteers through people like myself who have been through this that are volunteers to help you get through this. It can be a phone call. If you are by yourself, they will also get you in touch with somebody that will help you get to the hospital, get to your treatments, or a simple phone call, and just to check in and let you know that somebody else has been there and it's that you can beat this. Your relationships are going to change, and I think they're going to get deeper and better. I know my wife and I are at a place now where we weren't before. You know, she took over. She did everything that I had to have done, every appointment, every call for medication, everything wasn't working, get different medication. It was a big help. And so enlist your friends and family for as much support as you can get. This is temporary, all right? Your stage 4 is a temporary thing. I will always be a cancer survivor, but the stage 4 is temporary. You can get past it. You have to be an advocate for yourself. You have to tell your doctors that I'm feeling like this, I'm feeling like that, and they will help you. They do this, you know, unfortunately, all day, every day. And but that means they've probably heard whatever you're about to tell them, and it's nothing new. So they do have alternatives. I'm saying a lot of these things 2 and 3 times because I wish I would have known these when I was going through this. Accept the help. Any help that you're offered. If somebody buys some of this stuff on your Amazon list, thank them and take it. Don't try to act like you don't need it or don't want it or any other reason. Just be thankful that somebody has done that for you. Accept it because it is a big strain on your bank account. So you're probably also asking, you know, is this going to ruin my life? No, but it will change it. Again, for me, I'm using this as much as I can to advocate for beating cancer instead of just giving up, all right? The American Cancer Society, again, if you can get on their website, they're a big help. You just have to reach out. So some of the little things like I brought up, they just help tremendously. Anything you can get off of your plate while you're going through this, the better. The Amazon list, that was a big deal for me. The supplements, the hand warmers, all these little things that came to your door and you didn't even realize they were coming. It's just awesome. It helps. But I do want to say that I will be posting other videos here, so please see what we went through every week. You'll see the story unfold. You'll see my attitude was great. You'll see that I lost my voice for almost a month, and the way my wife and I communicated was through text and notes on a phone. So even to this day, I don't speak as well as I used to. I have a little bit of a different way of speaking. My taste buds are different. I'm slowly recuperating. The doctors have told me that it could take a couple years for me to get back to pretty much to where I was before. So I know I'm getting better, and I know I will continue to get better, and it's just from the steps that I've already told you. So just know that you're not alone. The encouragement, have faith, have a good outlook, and you will get through this as well. Any questions about my things that I took, about the treatments, please ask them. More than happy to help.
Well, just quick, thank you for being willing to share all of that and knowing that somehow, some way, someone could benefit from an experience as difficult as it was. You did mention, we'll see in some other videos that you have a positive outlook and you seem to be mentally pretty tough. And I imagine, you spoke about it just briefly about when you first heard how devastating that was. How did you get from that point when you first heard to just the positive mental state that you have now?
Through my faith, and one of my testimony that's on my YouTube channel will kind of tell you what happened, there was a sign that was presented to me that made sure that I was seeing I am going to cure this disease in me. And so check out my testimony. You'll see what I'm talking about. But this is something where I guarantee you, your doctors will, at numerous times, they will tell you, have a good outlook. It's going to help you immensely getting through this. And you're going to hear it numerous times. Have a good outlook. It'll help you. So that's what I did. I ran with it. I'm naturally a sarcastic, funny person, at least to myself. And I just continued to do that after the initial shock of what happened went away.
Awesome. You did mention your faith and what you attribute to just some of that support and strength. Had you always been so faith forward, or do you feel like this definitely increased your faith?
Absolutely increased it, and it would to anybody. This is something, again, my testimony tells you something that happened. Psalm 91 is a big part of my life now, and I encourage you to check out all the other videos that are on my channel, and that, I think, will answer your question to that.
And I know that part of your motivation for doing this was the hope of helping someone that just has no direction, no information. So that tells me that you were once in that spot. You got this news. It was completely new, completely changed your life. You have nowhere to go. You have no other person in your close circle with experience to help guide you. How did you feel with just this fire hose of information of new, not just new diagnosis, but now new treatment that you have to undergo? And I see these medications in front of you and these different things, so much information on what do I even take? How does this even work? How did you handle all of that? Did it feel overwhelming, or was it also encouraging to have all these people recommend all these things?
So for throat cancer, again, there wasn't a lot out there. I did not get overwhelmed with stuff because I didn't know if the same thing was true for lung cancer as it was for throat cancer. So I didn't know. I actually felt like I needed more information. What is it like when I wake up until I go to bed? What is it like? What am I in store for? I don't think that enough is out there for throat cancer. It is different. And I think this is a big step. I wish I would have been able to see a video like this, just kind of no bones about it, and this is what my story is. So from being diagnosed with stage 4 to being told I am cancer-free, I wanted to make the video and help give more information because I didn't feel I had enough. Yeah.
And just lastly, what would you say, just kind of just closing this off, somebody who's watching this that is once in this exact spot that you once were, no information, no direction where to go, maybe even hopeless and overwhelmed, what would your message be to them?
Reach out to somebody who has been through it, or to, again, I said it before, American Cancer Society. They know what they're doing. They don't employ, but they have volunteers that will help you through this. Sometimes I just wanted the answer to a simple question and I couldn't find it. If I found it, it was because it was some other form of cancer and I didn't know if that applied to my situation. Anything that I can do, that's why I'm doing these videos again, and reach out to somebody who has been through this. And if you don't know somebody personally who has had throat cancer, then look it up through ACS or myself, and definitely would love to help.